Hey everybody, so this morning we're going to talk about how to use Notion to keep up with your book of business. So obviously you can use your CRM, but what I always advise is instead of tracking it on like a Google Sheet or anything like that, it is a lot easier to track it in Notion just because if you do change CRMs, you don't run into the issue of having to swap over your book or all your paying clients, so you can always keep those available to you. Okay. So how do we use Notion? So one, it's free. So that's the biggest point is you can just keep it. So then you don't have to judge based on what CRM you're going to use. The next one we'll do in another video, but you can automate a lot of this stuff with Zapier. So when you do that, you can actually automatically add them to your contacts and everything like that. So it makes it a lot easier to keep track of your clients and also have them in your personal phone if they do need to get in contact with you, and you can have all that information with you in case they contact you outside of work or anything like that. The biggest one is it is a free solution. I can't iterate that enough. And you can also keep track of whether or not you've gotten paid, because as you continue to sell and all that, we want to keep track of what's our effective date. Have we been deposited for that client to make sure that we do stay on top of our business and we're not leaving stuff off of the table. Now, I will go ahead and warn you, Notion, it's not going to be recommended for using like a complete CRM, just due to the amount of leads we do in this business. With the amount of leads you get in, it just makes it very, very hard to keep track of who's what, who's where. And I haven't experimented doing it, when you have several thousand leads in there. So I don't really recommend it for using it as like your complete CRM. But if you do want to use it to keep track of your clients and who you sell, I think that's where it really excels. So what we're going to go over, I'm going to show you 3 different templates that I'll have linked below. You can copy, do whatever you want with them. I'll show you how all of them work so you can keep track of everything. So the first one is going to be our client sales list. So this is the big one. So anytime you sell a client, this is how I keep track of everything. You can obviously add different metrics to it, but this is the biggest one that I use. So the first one is going to be our status. So what we have not started, so that would be right when you input it. Lapse pending, didn't draft, started application, whether they canceled, if they're in underwriting, so then we can keep track of that, and then we have submitted approved. So submitted approved means it's been sent, they've approved it, they just haven't paid yet, so we'll keep track of that. So that's the green light. The next one, we're going to just have obviously your client's name. That's the easiest one. And then their phone number. The reason why we do the phone number, it is because when we input that into automations, we can actually have it automatically add the client and their phone number to our contacts. And that'll be for another video, but that's how you can easily do that. You don't have to worry about putting your clients in. You add them to your book, they automatically get added to your phone contacts, so then you don't have to worry about that. The next one is going to be their annual premium, how much they're paying, just so we know. The next one's going to be the carrier. Now, for the carrier, what I do is, let's say you're submitting an AIG or Corebridge now, but let's say you have an AIG. So when we do that, what we want to do, this is kind of later on, you're going to put that, and then what you're going to do is you're going to put like your carrier number in there. So every carrier that you do work with, put that and then put your carrier number after, because what you can do is you can actually automate the underwriting process of it with using a virtual assistant to where they can check up on those policies for you, and you always have those carrier numbers ready for you. Okay, so that's how I format that. Or if you just want to leave it blank like that, you can do that so you can keep track of where that carrier is. The next one is going to be obviously what product it is. So, whether it's term, a cashback option, a whole life, depending on how you want to structure that, you're going to put that in there so you can keep track of, if they call you, you're going to go, okay, this was this type of product. So when you add them to your phone contacts, it'll have that in there as well. So after that, then you're just going to have that policy number. So when you put that in, you'll have that in your phone contacts as well. So you'll know exactly what policy number it is. Okay. Then the next one, we're going to have what that effective date is. So then if we say, all right, it's going to start here on the 21st, we're going to be able to see and know when that effective date is. So we can then go, have I gotten paid on this or have I not? So you're not stuck, fumbling through on figuring out whether you've been paid or not, because that's the most annoying part. The next part, we're going to look at whether we've been paid or not. I like that just because it helps me keep track. So I'll do different views. If you want another video on how I structure mine, mine's a little bit more complicated. Let me know. I'll create something for it. I don't want to show my clients' names, but I'll show you how mine's structured. But I have it to where it kicks it out of my front screen if I've been paid or not, so then I know what policies I have not been paid on. The next one is if you do any sort of mail, anything like that. That one, you just check that off so so then you can keep track of all your clients. Or if you have like a lead vendor and you have to check them off, all you can do is if you wanted to add, so let's say we wanted to add a checkbox, if I can find it, there we go. You can add a checkbox and then just say checked off vendor. Right? So then you can go on here, and so then you can go, okay, because if they're going to resell your lead, you want to make sure you get that checked off. So when you submit the policy, you go submit it, and then you go boom. And so so then you can look back and you can know whether that's been checked off or not, so you don't have to worry about people reselling your lead. The next one's optional. I actually don't have this on my personal one, but you can have what lead type it was. So then if you have multiple different lead types, you can check and just make sure that whatever your lead type is, you can keep track of that. So then you can say, okay, I've had greater success with this vendor or that vendor, and you have the data to prove it instead of just kind of going back and not being able to realize what it is. So that's how I'm going to track my client sales. There's a couple more things that can be done, but this is kind of the easiest way to do it. And then, obviously this will add up so you can see how much you've actually submitted. And then as you check those off, that's issued. So you can keep track of what all those are. So the next one is going to be, I like to keep track of my beneficiaries as well and have them in my contacts. So when you talk to clients, so this is the beneficiary list. So what I'm doing here, I'm doing the same automation with the client sales, but when I go do the application, I get the beneficiary in. What I'm going to do is have their name, their phone number, and then what beneficiary type they are. And then I'll see what their relationship is. So I'll tag that. You'll add different ones depending on the carrier or whatever you want to do. And then this is the next part. So I added a relation on your client sales tracker. So what this would do is, so let's say let's just say John. So we have John over here, and John has been submitted and approved. Okay. So then when we go over here, and we say we have Sally. But what we can do is then we can search John. And then what we'll do, you can't quite do this, it's not one-to-one. So then you'll just put the connection to the client, it's just a text. So what that'll do is you can set up an automation to where it'll add Sally to your phone contact with her number, and it'll say, Sally, and in the description, it'll say, John, the primary beneficiary's son is to John. Just their relationship. So then if they do contact you, you know that it's not some random number. And this also helps you if you want to get referrals, because then they're already in your contacts and you have that conversation going with them. And so it makes it a lot easier to work with your clients to be able to do that. So that's how that's structured. So as this grows, you're just going to have a massive list, and you'll be able to input them into your phone contacts on how that works. And then the next one, I just have a small referrals, because it kind of gets they kind of fall off on how they're going to do that. So if you do get a referral, right, so you're just going to say John, phone number, and then whatever their relationship is, and then who that referral was. So then if you do need it, because sometimes those referrals take a little longer to get, so you can go in here and then track what your referrals are. So then you can continue to nourish them and work those referrals, and it doesn't clog up your CRM where you throw one in and you're like, do I call them like 5 times or just a referral? This gives you a nice streamlined process to where you can just occasionally reach out to those referrals, try and get some more sales. but you also have what their relationship is. So it's not, you're not juggling if they call you or anything like that. You can have them auto add to your contacts and do all that. So that's kind of a simple way to be able to do that. That's just going to make it a lot easier for you guys to keep track of your business and keep it together. So this is what I do. I hope you guys found that helpful. So what we're looking to do is automate the back end of the business. Okay, so we can sell. Once we get selling, how do we keep track of those clients, beneficiaries, and referrals in one location, to where if we change CRMs or anything like that, we don't have that problem of who goes where, what goes what. We can keep track of the back end of the business very, very easily, and it always stays with us no matter what. So if anything happens, we always have that. Now, all these templates, they will be linked in the description below. So if you do want to copy those, and if you have any questions about them, let me know. I'm more than happy to change, or if you have any ideas to make it even better, I'm more than happy to work with you guys and kind of figure out what the best way to do this. But this is the best way that I've found so far, just to keep track of everything, because as we do this and our book grows, we want to be able to keep track of it just in one central location. But other than that, that's pretty much it. I hope you guys found some value. Don't forget to like and subscribe. There'll be more videos like this where we kind of build out that automate back end. And then if you want to join my team or anything like that, I'll also have the link to that below, where you can work even closer with me, where we build this stuff out, so that then as you continue to grow, you can build an unstoppable business. So that's all I have for you today, guys. If you have any questions, just let me know. I'm more than happy to help you out. Peace.